Okay, and I just wanted to reiterate this message and talk about the building of the tabernacle, because I spoke to a sister and she said to me, well, sister, how is it that a woman is building the tabernacle? And I said, yeah, sister, you're right. I feel the same way. I would have never thought that the Most High would use me in this way to build his tabernacle. I said, but obviously, I thought that, with the understanding that, I got from, like, with the GOCC, with the different elders, telling me that the Most High don't deal with women. So I was very taken aback in this whole process of, how the Most High dealt with me concerning those holy days, why it was so hard on my spirit that I had to, figure out them holy days. And it took like 3 years for other people to kind of catch on about the holidays. Now it's very clear, and I thank the Most High that it was correct that we needed to understand how important those holy days were. And so now here we are about tabernacles, talking about the tabernacles and tents. And what I'm getting from most of the brothers, all I'm hearing is we don't have to prepare. They don't know how things are gonna manifest as far as us being in the wilderness. They just like nobody has any idea. And so here I am making videos about tents and building the tabernacle. And if it's the Most High just using me in that way, maybe I won't be the person who build the tabernacle. Maybe that's not the Most High will. Maybe it's just for me to give people a push in understanding what needs to be done. I don't have the answer. All I know is I'm trying to be obedient to the Most High, AHAYAH, and do what he shows me and tells me to do. And it's not for other people to really understand. Obviously others are not going to understand, but only thing is that the Most High will be done. So if it takes another year or two for brothers to start to grasp the concept of, yes, we will have to buy tents, and yes, they will have to come together and build the tabernacle, so be it. I have no problem with it. All I ask is the Most High use me any way he feel fit. And I'm not trying to go against the Most High. I'm not trying to speak against the Most High or speak against anybody in that manner. I'm not. All I'm here is to do what the Most High tells me to do. If he told me to move, I move. If he tells me to stay, I stay. If he tells me to go buy a tent, I go buy a tent. And even though people may not understand it, and I wanted to speak about building the tabernacle. Everybody, when in the days of our forefathers with Moses, everybody didn't participate in building the tabernacle. When we go into the scriptures, it says the wise among the people lended their gifts and gave money and gave things. It was the wise. Everybody didn't do it, because you have to understand that this is a spiritual thing. And a lot of people, they're not of the spirit. And even though Israel, they do not understand things of the spirit. And so when the Most High commands us to do certain things, a lot of our people, our forefathers, rebelled against the Most High, and a lot of people didn't make it in the wilderness just because that same spirit. So you really need to understand the spirit that you're operating in when you kind of bucking up against something that the Most High. If you read in the scriptures and you studying to show yourself approved to AHAYAH, you know that we will go back under the law. We will have a tabernacle again. We will dwell in tents. This is all in the Bible. So I don't understand how people can act like they don't know how we're going to have tents. They don't know how these things are going to manifest itself. When you go through the scriptures and you see that our forefathers all prepared, when they walked out of Egypt, they walked out with things that helped sustain them. And when they ran out, then the Most High kicked in and sustained them. So I just don't understand how brothers and sisters don't see what it is that our part that we have to play. We have to be obedient. You have to be spiritually grounded and connected to the Most High. And the scriptures speak. They speak loud. And I don't understand how it's so hard for our brothers and sisters to grasp what it is that we have to do. The Most High is commanding us to get ready, that Christ is coming. how he's commanding us is the prophecies of, we seeing the birth pains, we seeing it's coming to pass. Get prepared. Yes, you're going to need a tent. If you're a man and you have a wife and kids, you're going to need a tent. If you're a woman and you have children, you're going to need a tent. I'm single and I got me a tent. I know that I'm going to need a tent. So I can't really understand why, there's any pushback about buying tents, and building a tabernacle. Again, maybe the Most High willing, maybe it won't be me who build the tabernacle. And if I'm just putting the incentive into the person who is going to actually build the tabernacle, then that's what the Most High may use me for. I have no problem with it. So I just wanted to put that in, some spiritual food into this. Like, y'all have to understand what's going on within the spirit. The children of Israel were in the wilderness. They murmured against the Most High. They did a lot of things against the Most High, and a lot of people were destroyed. So we have to learn from those lessons. We know we have to go back into the wilderness again. So it's going to happen. So you have to prepare. You can't come running in with nothing, because it's just not wise to do that. And it's not wise to not participate in building the Most High's tabernacle, because it's a spiritual thing. And so if you know and you understand the things of the spirit, if you're connecting back to AHAYAH, you know that there's things that we're just going to have to do. So I don't really understand why people are not preparing. They don't even act like, but I understand that there is infiltration, and so people act like they don't have no idea how this is going to manifest, because they don't intend for the children of Israel to make it into the wilderness. That's what's actually going on. And there's a lot of things that I can say, that I would say, but it's not my time to speak on these things now. But they will manifest itself. The Most High tells me when to speak and when not to speak. So I can't even speak on certain things, but I know that they have snares set up in the wilderness for us. That I do know. And then at the time I will, speak on it when the Most High allows me to speak about those things. But I just want to say that, brothers and sisters, study to show yourself approved to AHAYAH. That it's the Most High who are allowing these things for us to go through these things, because he said we will be tried and tested, and we're going to go through some things, and he's allowing these things like infiltration and us to be deceived, because he's testing each and every one of us. And so y'all have to be mindful of that we're being tested, and the Most High is allowing tests because he wants to know who is his. So, and that brings me to like the book of Eli, that movie. At the end, what really struck me is that he knew the scriptures. He can recite the book from the beginning to the end, because of he understood that he needed to know the book. He needed to know the book. That was a criteria, and it's a criteria in the Bible. No one is saved until the end. And if they have snares and different scenarios set up, our book is also a roadmap to tell us where we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to get there, what we're supposed to do. And so if you are not studying, you will be easily taken by a snare. And so that, Esau always gives little bits and pieces away in his movies, and that was very profound about him reciting the Bible from beginning to end from his head. He knew the book, and that's a criteria. We all have to know this book. That is a criteria. That's how he's going to put the laws in our inward parts, because you're going to need to know the book in order to make it to the end, to be saved. And I hope you can receive me saying this to you, because that's how deep it is. This thing is going to be that deep that you're going to have to know that book, because you're going to need to know where to go. You can't have people just telling you whatever and deceiving you, brothers and sisters. You must understand we are being tested, each and every one of us. Nobody is saved until the end. You must understand, know that this is a spiritual test, and you must get yourself together and be ready for the battle, because it's coming. This whole thing, So, again, the tabernacle must be built. You must prepare. You must have tents to live out there. And the Most High is going to do the rest. And he's, So we must prepare spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I put another video up on one of my other channels about, you know, working out and getting spiritually prepared, being prayed up, fasting. The Day of Atonement is coming up, which is awesome. We get to fast and ask for forgiveness for our sins. Even though Christ died for our sins overall, we still are sinning, and we still must fast on this day. Then the Feast of Tabernacle is coming up. We're going to dwell in tents for 8 days, and I'll have my tent outside. And I just want to encourage brothers and sisters to get out, get your tents out, even if it's in your backyard, on your roof, but make sure it's in a temporary dwelling. It can't be in your house, in your living room. It has to be in a temporary dwelling. So go look that up in the scriptures, that you are to dwell in booth for 8 days, and it's a temporary, not some place that you sleep every day and every night. And I believe that it's even more spiritual than that. So the Most High sanctified this day, and when you sleep out among the stars that night, there's a blessing. You get under spiritual understanding, and I've talked about this in many videos. So I pray that y'all take heed to that as well. To get out, even if it's on your roof, in your backyard, make a temporary dwelling, not no place that you sleep in every night and just put a tent. Because you got to understand that when we sacrifice to the Most High, this is like our offering we're giving too. When we're obedient to His laws, just like Cain and Abel. Cain got vexed because of his sacrifice that he brought, and Abel went all out for the Most High. He did it correctly, and Cain got mad. But when you give that a half, you know, I'm saying half-ass offering to the Most High, and then you don't get the results that you want, then you become vexed when you see someone else walking in the blessings. So that's the same thing. Like when you do things like, oh, we don't really have to sleep outside, we can build a tent in our house, or do those kind of half-ass, you know, sacrifices and offers to the Most High, and then you're not getting spiritual understanding. You're not growing in your growth, in your connection with the Most High. You don't see miracles in your life. You don't see these things manifesting, and you wonder why. Because you're not giving to the Most High like you should. You giving Him the same sacrifice that Cain gave Him. You see what I'm saying? If you can hear me, I pray you can hear me. If you want to give and do the Most High like that, how do you expect for Him to bless you and give you spiritual understanding, spiritual growth, knowledge and gifts, fruits of the Spirit and all these things, when you're not even, you know, loving Him like you're supposed to? He said, if you love me, you keep my commandments. So you're going to give the sacrifice you want to give, opposed to what He asked you to give, or He told, or He commanded us to give. If He says dwell in the tents for 8 days, then that's what you do. And we have to stop being lazy when it comes to the Most High. We're going to have to stop being lazy, because we're not trying to live in Esau's kingdom. We talking about Yashayah and the Most High's kingdom, and it's a righteous kingdom. So you're going to have to pull it up. Step it up. So I pray that, you know, somebody can receive what I'm saying without taking it the wrong way, because it's all in love, Israel. I pray, and I always give glory to AHAYAH, Bahashem, Yashayah. I thank Him for His many blessings that He gives me, and I want to say be safe, and shalom to each and every one of you. Shalom.